What's up, people? You're in the right place and you picked the right video at the right time. This is going to be a good one. So I want you to stay to the end because I'm going to talk about why our people, why the black people in America and the other places where slaves were sent, South America, Central America, North America, the Caribbean islands, the UK, Europe, wherever we are, where we were sent, the islands off of the coast of Africa, the in Africa itself, why our people, the race known as Negroes, have had to go through the things that we've gone through the discrimination and through slavery and colonialism, being colonized, and one thing after the other, why our people here in the United States, why we've had to go through slavery and being our people being unalived to this day by the system, by the people who should be protecting us, why people go against us and dislike us so much, why people can't stop coming at us, why they can't keep our names out their mouth even when we're minding our business. It's because, let me tell you why these things have happened, why they stole it from us, why everybody's gotten reparations except for us. How the why people just do things to take us back, take us backwards, do things, and we make such a small part of the population. From so the reason is because we're the children of God. And these things were prophesied in our Bible, in our Hebrew scriptures or the Old Testament. And I want to go over that. But first, let's go. I want to take a look at this book right fast. It's written by Stephen Jacobs, and the name of it is The Hebrew Heritage of Black Africa. I strongly recommend it because it has a lot of good information. So on the foreword, the first page, um, the first paragraph, Stephen S. Jacobs, a European Jew, has beyond the shadow of a doubt fully documented in this book, The Hebrew Heritage of Black Africa, that the Hebrews, Israelites of Jews of biblical times, were of the black race and lived on the African and Asian, Middle East region continents of the world. Go paragraph 3. This book is a must read for people of all races and belief systems, for it satisfies the need to dispel the lies which have enveloped the minds of the masses into believing the white European Jews. Now listen, this satisfies the need to dispel the lies which have enveloped the minds of the masses into believing that the white European Jews are the original people of the book and the chosen people of God expressed throughout the Bible. More and more white Jews, especially the older ones, are acknowledging in secret to those of us who already know that the original Jews were black. So I'll stop right there. So we are the original Jews. We are the children of God. This is why people have tried so hard to oppress us. They've done their best to cover over this fact, so to keep the world from ever knowing that black people, African Americans, people of African descent, everywhere we were sent in slavery, the West Africans, the Bantus, the hundreds of millions that are in Africa and all over the world, that we're the children of Almighty God Yahweh, the God of the Old Testament. And this is the book that was written. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Father Moses, all of them are of our race. They were black. We of their bloodline descendants. So I want to show you where this is in the Bible for people who don't know. A lot of people, I'm sure over many hundreds of years, our people, especially ones who were slaves and then descended and had to deal with Jim Crow and people unaliving our people and discrimination and living in danger. We had to wonder, why is it that people, what's wrong? It seems like we're cursed. It's the truth. Our people have been cursed. Let me tell you how this happened. Now, Deuteronomy chapter 28. This is the World English Bible, verse 1. It says, "It shall happen, if you shall listen diligently to Yahweh your God's voice, to observe and do all his commandments, which I command you today, that Yahweh your God will set you high above all the nations of the earth." So that was God's original plan. If the Israelites listened to Almighty God's voice and did all of Almighty God Yahweh's commandments, if they followed them, it would be that the Israelites would receive those grand blessings. But let's go down to verse 15. What would happen and what did happen when our ancestors disobeyed Almighty Yahweh God and went against his commandments over and over again. He warned us what would happen, and this is what our people have been dealing with till this day. Okay, but verse 15, Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. "But it shall come to pass, if you will not listen to Yahweh your God's voice, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command you today, that all these curses will come upon you and overtake you. You will be cursed in the city, and you will be cursed in the field." Okay, the verse 18 says that the fruit of your body will be cursed. The fruit of our body, okay, of our people's body. Now let's move on. Okay, Deuteronomy 28, verse 19. "You will be cursed when you come in, and you will be cursed when you go out." Verse 20. "Yahweh will send on you cursing, confusion, and rebuking all that you put your hand to do, until you are destroyed, and until you perish quickly because of the evil of your doings, by which you have forsaken me." Now, this is quite a bit here. Now, many of these things, for people who don't know, these curses that I'm reading about have happened over and over. The Israelites, even in the biblical times of the Hebrew scriptures, were enslaved and brought back out of slavery by God again. They were enslaved, brought back out again. And so these curses have repeated themselves, and they're repeating themselves all the way until now. So make sure you understand not to look at these curses that Yahweh put on us for being disobedient. Don't look at them as they're a one time thing, because that is not right. These things are continuous. And this last time, when he put our people at when the Romans sacked Jerusalem in 70 AD, this time he says, "I'm gonna punish y'all good. This time out, when I punish you, y'all gonna be gone out the land, and you're gonna be gone, and you're gonna be punished." And it had been a couple thousand years, over 2,000 years since it's happened, and we've gone through so many things, including up to the transatlantic slave trade. Let's keep going though. Now pay close attention to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 25. Listen to this and see if this doesn't sound like our people. "Yahweh will cause you to be struck before your enemies. You will go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them. You will be tossed back and forth among all the kingdoms of the earth." Have not our people been sent into all of the kingdoms of the earth, in the transatlantic slave trade, in the African slave trade, even to Asia? We were sent to South America, Central America, North America, the Caribbean islands. We've been sent to the UK, Europe. Our people have been sent, even enslaved in Africa. Our lands have been taken. All these things have happened over and over. And that's never happened to anybody on the face of this earth who's that many people's been sent into slavery like our people has. This is what this is. This is why it happened to us. It's foretold. Watch this. Now, verse 28. "Yahweh will strike you with madness, with blindness, with astonishment of heart." Hasn't that happened to our people? Some people slaves, from what I understand, may have gone, they may have lost their minds if they were so badly oppressed. I mean, and people trying to figure out why people think of the fear that the slaves felt when they were released from slavery, and then they had nowhere to go, and then people who hated them were hunting them down like animals, killing them and robbing and violating the women and the kids. All this stuff was happening. They couldn't figure out why. It was foretold. This is our people right here. Verse 29. You will grope at noonday as the blind gropes in darkness, and you shall not prosper in your ways. You will only be oppressed and robbed always, and there will be no one to save you. Now listen to that. Haven't our people felt like that? And over again. And when we make progress, you got people who want to take us back. People who we've never bothered, people who and even the progress that we made, other people attached themselves to it and made more progress for the things that were supposed to help us. And we ended up being last with that. And people still complain. Just listen to this one. Verse 30. See if this doesn't remind you of our slavery. You will betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. You will build a house, and you won't dwell in it. You will plant a vineyard and not use its fruit. Didn't that happen to our people? Didn't they take our wives and anybody they wanted and we built, we grew in the field and we didn't benefit for it. Somebody else got the money. Now look at the verse 32. Think about the movie Roots or the history of slavery that you know. Now, did not this happen? Your sons and your daughters will be given to other people. Your eyes will look and fail with longing for them all day long. There will be no power in your hand. People will just take our ancestors, sons and daughters. They would take their wives, husbands. They would split families apart with no regard for their life, and our people have had no power to fight back. A nation which you don't know will eat the fruit of your ground and all your work. You will only be oppressed and crushed always. Has that not happened to our people over and over again? Every week you see something new. Every week the same thing. Okay. So the sights that you see with your eyes will drive you mad. Verse 36. Yahweh will bring you and your king, from whom you set over yourselves, to a nation that you have not known, to a nor you nor your fathers. There you will serve other gods of wood and stone. That's happened before, but it's happened again in Christianity and other religions. Verse 37. You will become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all the peoples where Yahweh will lead you. Hasn't that happened? People look at what's wrong with those black folks. We look at ourselves. Why can't we bring ourselves up? Why do these things keep happening? People talk about us. A byword. People speak scorn and mock us all the time because of the situation that we're in. This is why, because our ancestors disobeyed Almighty God. Verse 41. You will father sons and daughters, but they will not be yours, for they will go into captivity. Locusts will consume all of your trees and fruit of your ground. The foreigner who is among you will mount up higher above you, higher and higher, and you will come down lower and lower. Don't we see that today? Foreigners come in and get higher than we are. He will lend to you, and you won't lend to him. He will be the head, and you will be the tail. All of these curses will come on you and will pursue you and overtake you until you are destroyed because you didn't listen to Yahweh your God's voice to keep his commandments and his statutes in which he commanded you. Now, the next video I'll come and finish this up. There's more to this and very important. So come back and watch the next video. Peace and blessings to you. Come back.